Started again. I think we're about ready. Gotta remember not to do alt tab stuff. Excellent connection. Good. Voice is coming through fine. Okay. Another time the song has looped. So let's start, shall we? Hi. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another night of Monday Night Malware. Where, you know, we're going to talk about some things that I like and some things I don't. It's not going to be as often that I start at 9:30 at night time. 5 at night. But that's beside the point. Work schedule changed today. Shouldn't be every week, but you never know. The joys of working at a studio. Anyway, how are you? Is there anyone hanging around downtown by themselves? Probably not. No one watches the live streams. Not yet. I'm gonna keep it up though. Keep it up, we're hanging out. So what is there to talk about? My god. Should we even get into Rings of Power? Article I think that just came out that was recent. What was the news? I'm trying to remember the news we had. I think it was basically Amazon's proven to be buying. Oh my goodness, I remember now. I'll have to look it up real quick. Right, who watched today? It's a great video. I want to say it was Yellow Flash, or maybe it's Ryan Kennel. Obviously, you won't be able to see what I'm doing yet. There we go. Now, Amazon exposed by fake Lord of the Rings superfans. It was Ryan Kennel. You guys want to watch this show? This show. You want to watch this video? Shall we? Ryan, I hope you're okay with that. Love your content, my guy. It's a pretty short, you know, his videos are conveniently short. So we'll start with that. How's that sound? Is that the right button?
Despite Amazon's best efforts, Rings of Power is a complete and total disaster. It is a PR nightmare for them. They try to come out and say, look at the fantastic ratings we
Which it certainly is a PR nightmare for them, without a doubt.
Had on the first day. We've never seen anything like this. And they've been completely and totally silent ever since then. They tried to do what they could. They tried to do damage control. They tried to contain the backlash, but it has not helped. People despise Rings of Power.
I made a channel all because of this stupid show.
And it'd be one thing if people despised it, but they were actually watching it. But based on the numbers we got from Samba TV, no one's even watching the show, at least not at the same level you would expect for something this big.
Tons of people I've talked to about this show, none of them have watched it. They've all heard about it and they're like, nah, not that interested. Very weird. Wonder why. Maybe because it's bad.
We've seen the Rotten Tomatoes score. We've seen the IMDb. We've seen the Metacritic. We've seen what's been happening with Rings of Power. But now something interesting is coming out. When Amazon got caught red-handed attempting to pay people for positive reviews, it wasn't.
Which they were. I think it was exposed by Chris Gore.
really a surprise because this is what we've come to expect from them. They've been underhanded this entire time. And it all started with the Rings of Power super fans. You guys remember that, right? This group of people that came out there.
Yeah, this was
they
a
knew
stupid
nothing about
video.
Tolkien. They knew nothing about Lord of the Rings.
Oh, man.
All they did was preach about diversity and, oh, Sauron, I just want to fix him. All of this nonsense. People saw right through it. So much
I can't
so
believe they said that.
this video is not from Amazon. It's from somebody who uploaded the video back up there so people could see it. Because, like I talked about nearly 6 months ago, Amazon removed the Rings of Power promotion. They try to use these influencers to...
Yeah, they got rid of this influencer video. Amazon, what are you doing? You knew it was bad. Why are you doing this?
get you excited for Rings of Power, but it didn't fucking work. They unlisted the videos because of how badly they were getting ratioed and annihilated. Well, it turns out some of these people are popping back up, and at least one person has been asked specifically about how they feel about Rings of Power.
This is a
and
great
I wanted
video.
to show you who that person is. So first, let's listen to a little bit, a taste.
And here's
of
the original.
Superfans
Actually, you
video.
know, I might skip.
Are you ready?
Eh,
Are you ready for this?
this is a good
Here we go.
video. We'll
Read
skip.
something new would happen, and it was.
It's Middle Earth, there's never peace, right?
If like Sauron is hot, I feel like people will be like, I can fix him.
If he's hot, I could fix him. Come on now. Halbrand is hot, if you know what I mean. Wait, no, it's not Halbrand. It's someone else. Totally.
Middle Earth had like a club.
Yo, this tune is banging!
Middle Earth had it. What are these statements?
Mystified and starstruck.
Wow.
Haven't you ever wondered?
They thought this was going to be good promotion.
You guys
These
remember that
superfans.
cringe opening, right? Well, let's wait till they introduce each other here.
Because Prime Video's new epic fantasy series, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, just dropped with a teaser trailer, and I'm here with the Fellowship of Influencers.
Fellowship of Influencers. Probably Ryan's going to talk about that BS. Unbelievable. They thought this was good promotion.
Chanel, Joel, and Kelsey, how you guys doing?
Very excited after watching that.
Come on.
Chanel right there. Now again, these are people who are supposed to be Rings of Power super fans. We went through this video to hear them talk about all the representation, how excited they were to see this. Oh, it was so exciting.
Super
all
fans.
this stuff. Well, Chanel Williams popped back up. Somebody told me about a live stream she did on her Instagram. Now, if you go to her Instagram,
She did a live stream on her Instagram.
it's nothing about Rings of Power. It's all about like Harry Potter. There's like no Rings of Power anything.
This was something that people brought up at the time of that influencer video as well. That she did nothing for Lord of the Rings. She was a Harry Potter fan at the very most. Not the same as Lord of the Rings, yo.
Thing on there. It's all Harry Potter. But someone actually asked her a question about Rings of Power since she went to this. Now she's cut her hair since then. Since she went to this thing, since she got, to go to a castle and pretend to be excited about something, what was her response?
Which is better, House of the Dragon or Rings of Power? Well, I haven't watched Rings of Power yet.
There it is. Haven't even watched it yet. Haven't even watched it yet. I thought you got your early screening. And I thought you were super influencer.
Because I'm going to binge it. I don't want to watch them both at the same time. And House of the Dragon started first. So I was already taken. So I've got to wait.
I was already taken.
So I don't know. But so far, House of the Dragon's really good. So
Jeez, Mel B is a better
Power's not too
accent.
big things if it's going to be better than that one.
She's got Deathly Hollows in her earrings right now.
Holy shit. So this Tolkien super fan who gets, flown out to do this thing has not watched Rings of Power. Hasn't even bothered to watch Rings
Didn't
of
even
Power.
try to watch
Her
it.
excuse? Well, I can only handle one show at a time. So House of the Dragon is on right now. I'll binge Rings of Power when it's over.
Oh, I love Ryan's
Listen to
accent.
this explanation again.
So good.
Tolkien super
impressions.
fans, according to Amazon.
Which is better, House of the Dragon or Rings of Power? Well, I haven't watched Rings of Power yet because I'm going to binge it. I don't want to watch them both at the same time, and House of the Dragon started first. So I was already taken, so I've got to wait. So I don't know.
What a joke.
But so far, House of the Dragon's really good. So Rings of Power's got to do big things if it's going to be better than that one.
Oh.
Man, that's pretty rough for Amazon. I gotta say, that's
Sounds like
pretty rough
she
and pretty
knew.
embarrassing to drag people out here, right? To drag people out and pretend like they are big fans of this thing, like they're Tolkien fans, like they're Tolkien experts.
All right, that's essentially all for this video. Thank you, Ryan. You fantastic human being. I can't believe that, first of all, I'm getting some crazy views for a starting channel on my first, well, my 4th episode review. Looking at, I'm out of it. Sorry, it's too late. I mean, I got like 500 views. I have 10 subscribers. That's pretty crazy, man. Somehow it's getting spread around. Shout out to YouTube's recommendations. I certainly appreciate that. Something else I want to talk about with Rings of Power. Back to... let's see here. I think that was the biggest thing that came out. That the influencers for Rings of Power didn't even watch the damn show. And they thought that was a good idea for marketing. Another, what, $1 million wasted? Where'd all this money go, Amazon? Not very smart. But that wraps that up. We've got, of course, thankfully, Nick Recada's back. Good to see him back. And he went a little robotic today. He was at a hotel. Apparently Lady Rackets was having a surgery operation, something like that. Glad she's feeling well. Happy to see that. And yeah, he was on a 2-week second strike, so he couldn't post anything, couldn't do any live streams. He was streaming on Rumble instead. All because of the Troons, the Troon Squad. Shout out to Base Jam, I guess. What else we got here? I love talking about some of these. Oh, I guess we'll go into Little Mermaid talks now. This one was fun. My favorite cosplayers on TikTok is being harassed because she's a white Ariel. Huh. Let's look at this, shall we? Absolutely ridiculous. She's happy for the new Ariel, but now they're telling her she can't be Ariel because she's white. Hashtag Little Mermaid. It's a pretty good cosplay. Not wrong.
Okay, I'm only gonna say this once.
Sorry. At the club. Morning after. Sorry, I had to do that.
I'm only gonna say this once.
That's awful.
So, if you have a problem with me cosplaying Ariel because I'm white, we got bigger problems.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Remember what the original character is from the Danish story. The Danish fairy tale. And the Disney movie. What the hell happened? There was more to that video. Why are you doing this to me?
Okay,
Thanks, Twitter.
people need to stop attacking cosplayers. Like, this is what we do. A movie comes out and you cosplays that character.
Mhm.
Like,
No one was complaining when Faye Valentine was cosplayed by that whoever the hell that was in the show. Wait, actually a lot of people complained. Never mind. But when people are cosplaying as her, people like the cosplay.
I'm not being racist. You saying I
She's
can't
not.
be Ariel because I'm white.
That's literally the original character. It's more wrong and it's more of a cosplay that the actress in the new Little Mermaid is doing.
Also, I'm not on my phone 24/7, so I can't help what people are commenting.
Oh yeah, she went into, I think I skipped a bit of it, but she's basically saying that she's deleting comments because of their conversation about her race. A white woman's race. What is wrong with this world? I can't believe someone at Disney signed off on that. Sure, this is a great idea. Virtue signal, virtue signal, virtue signal. My God, it's so stupid. And then this happened last week. I think this is not. Racist AI scientist blasted for fixing Black Ariel in The Little Mermaid. Yeah, that's right. Twitter decided 2 users cannot be part of their world. Haha. New York Post sometimes. After an artificial intelligence scientist whitewashed actress Halle Bailey? Halle Bailey. Really hard to say because of Halle Berry. Anyway, in addition to suspending their respective accounts, the AI guy has been blasted, good writing, by other users on the site for digitally replacing Bailey, who is black, with a fake white actress. A real tweet circulated days after the new Disney film's trailer. Essentially, yeah, they took that clip and fixed it by using AI to make the live-action fish woman white. He fixed The Little Mermaid and turned the woke actor into a ginger white girl, which is the original. At least the original Disney one. Speaking of, when are they going to stop race swapping gingers for black people? My people are much more rare. It's very offensive. Now, these are not great. Both of these are not great pictures. But that is a terrible picture. I should really not have that going. Yeah, look at the quality of this video. No wonder you could do that. It's in 24p. Terrible, but yeah, I mean, pretty staunch difference here. Kind of incredible what they did with AI. I'm not racist, I just fixed a kid's movie by changing the main character's race. Totally not racist. One user mocked. Don't want the blackface, but sure to keep the black singing voice. Says everything. This is a weird thing to bring up. Just saying. Walt Disney Studios posted the trailer to its YouTube on Friday, and quickly, even though the company was forced to disable the dislike button after receiving 1.5 million. Wait, what is? Oh, they disabled the dislike button? Hang on. Just a minute here. Disabled the dislike button. No way. Now, I don't have the browser extension that a lot of these YouTube creators have. Last I heard, it's over 2 million dislikes to 1 million upvotes. Just likes. This looks awful. Just why do they have to do this? They had to do this, but it's also a terrible live action remake. We all know it's terrible because every other one has been terrible. Even the closest one to being okay, The Jungle Book, which was the first one, wasn't that great. It took out like most of the songs. Whatever the hell King Louis was, what the hell was that? I just disgusted by that monkey. Maybe I shouldn't say that with the Little Mermaid trailer up, but ooh, uh-oh, canceled. Oh, this is another Rings of Power. Apparently Rings of Power flop would trigger global economic depression. Some of this, I mean, perfect picture for what's going on in Hollywood right now. It's all stare at the turd. Do I want to go into this article? I don't think I actually read this one, but the Rings of Power and Harley Quinn are teaching an important lesson about letting canon go. There's a difference. There's a very vast difference between keeping the characters, and changing the story, versus changing the character entirely. This is kind of tiptoeing. But Rings of Power is bad. One, it's a bad show. If it was a better show, maybe there's a chance. Like if the show was entertaining, maybe this whole talk about letting canon go, there's the word. Maybe that can be more of a nuanced take. But the show is bad too. So throw Rings of Power out already. Harley Quinn, I haven't been watching the show. Is that even a show? I don't even know what it is. I'm not reading this whole article. A new fiction about an existing world. There's some things you can't change. Darth Vader's Anakin Skywalker. Yeah. Yeah. Frodo is Bilbo's nephew. Bruce Wayne's parents were killed in Crime Alley. Change too many things, Bruce Wayne becomes Clark Kent, and Middle Earth becomes indistinguishable. You know, what do you know? Middle Earth is pretty indistinguishable in the Rings of Power. To basically any generic fantasy. Is a made up place in between all the details. There's countless blank spaces. There's a fuckload of characters though. There's a ton of characters. But no. And there's no reason there can't be people of color or female dwarves or without beards. That's BS. If we can go back in time, the world of The Witcher, a place that went literally the exact same drama at the time of Witcher 3's release. And gaming's race problem. Sure. There's a real problem. Now we're talking about, yeah, I'm not. It's in The Witcher. Stupid. Side note, Witcher 3 was pretty boring to start for me until I got to the Bloody Baron. And he's a character you can relate to. He's a drunk. He's a father. He's a coward in a way. Loves his wife, but has a problem. Can't handle himself, can't control himself. He's a very, I mean, not nuanced. Nuance is not the word. He's a complicated character. Kind of got a heart of gold, at least between the men, between the boys kind of thing. He doesn't really hate Geralt, but he doesn't really love him either, you know. Happy that he's fixing the problems. Anyway, sorry, sidetracked. I fucking love the Bloody Baron. Canon is a bad excuse for racism, sexism, and hate. When the whole world... Well, alright. Alright. What happens to all these characters? Because unfortunately, your canon is leading into the movies. The canon of Rings of Power is leading into the movies. So what happened to the black characters? The black elves, the black dwarf. The dwarf women without beards. What happened to them? They just grew beards now? Having people of color, it changes the dynamics of the entire story. And it doesn't have here. It doesn't force you to think about race. Does it? And that's what they want you to think. Is about race. Right? Because if everyone was black, if everyone was white in the show, if everyone was one race in the show, you wouldn't be really thinking about that. And the funny thing is, elves are their own race. Dwarves are their own race. Hobbits are their own race. It's like saying... What's a good example here? Trying to come up with a good animal example. Brain is on the fritz. I should just probably... Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. I think this whole discussion is stupid. Taking something like... Well, a lot of superhero stories they've become bankrupt on ideas, creatively bankrupt. So instead of continuing on with, I don't know, Joker has escaped and is plotting something, they now have to change the gender of a character, change the sexuality of a character, or make a villain a good guy. Whoa. That's everything they've done in the comics the last 5 years? Oh, John Kent's gay. Oh. Not I was about to say Tim Dillon. Oh my god. That's a comedian. Tim Drake is gay. It's ridiculous. They're so creatively bankrupt that they have to do this instead of making a good story. Just unfortunate. I guess we'll move on from there to the GTA 6 leak. I thought I had an article up, but maybe not. What we've essentially confirmed is that we've got a Bonnie and Clyde style story with a Hispanic lady, Latina, sorry. Say the right word. I'm not gonna say Latinx. Get out of here with that. Latina lady. She and her I don't even know, her simp, boyfriend, whatever. They're the characters in this story. This is on ABC News. abc.net.au, apparently. Early development footage. I've watched some of this stuff. A lot of it is just early development, like showing physics off, showing certain animations, like test animations and that sort of thing. Depicting a woman holding up a diner. Video clips were posted on GTA forums. Confirmed the leak was genuine on Monday by posting a short statement. This is a fun statement we'll get into. The nightmare for Rockstar. It is indeed real. Payment. This is a dumb article. Let's just go to what they said on Twitter. A message from Rockstar Games. A message from Rockstar Games. Okay. We recently suffered a network intrusion in which an unauthorized third party illegally accessed and downloaded confidential information from our systems, including early development footage for the next Grand Theft Auto. At this time, we do not anticipate any disruption to our live game services, nor any long-term effect in the development of our ongoing projects, because they just wanted to know if you're working on GTA 6. That's it. We are extremely disappointed to have any details of our next game shared with you in this way. Our work on the next Grand Theft Auto game will continue as planned, and we will remain as committed as ever to delivering an experience to you, our players, that truly exceeds your expectations. And it's gonna reach my expectations. We already know how woke it's gonna be, yo. You know? It's gonna be woke. It might not be Saints Row woke, but it's gonna be woke. We'll update you, everyone, again soon, and of course, we'll properly introduce you to this next game when it is ready. We want to thank everyone for their ongoing support through this situation. We do not anticipate. I mean, of course they're not going after the live services of the game. They don't care about that. They care about the footage. We are extremely disappointed to have any details of it. Well, Me too, man. Me too. Because it's gonna be bad. You're gonna throw all that money you earned, all that clout, in the trash. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. And if I am, good on them. Good on them. Now, this is a quick little story. I want to rapid fire a couple of things. Okay. Power can go away. I think we're getting down there. I think I'm gonna end with the VCT stuff. Breaking, director Kento Kinoshita said Capcom is creating the Shadows of Rose story to conclude the Winter's Family saga. I think this was leaked, talked about whenever they talked about the DLC when it first was announced. Wherever Resident Evil goes for the next main entry will likely introduce a new set of faces or return to characters we haven't seen in some time. I wonder who that could be. I think we should step away from Leon. I think we should step away from Chris Redfield. Even Jill, probably. Maybe pick someone like Rebecca, someone like Brad. Well, Brad's dead. Sorry. Who's the dude? I think someone posted it that I know. Billy? It's Billy. I think that's his. This guy is stupid. I think it would be more entertaining to follow the story of another character in a kind of Resident Evil. They could maybe ignore the Mycete thing, the Mega Mycete. That's a little wordy. But it's good that they're going to conclude the Ethan Winters story. Because he is a very plank character. True. You're compelled for him in a way because he's just trying to get his daughter in 8. Just trying to survive in 7. And 8 was, man, I played the hell out of Resident Evil 8. That was a good one. It was properly creepy in certain areas. It was man, I just really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fast paced in some areas. It was, granted, the pacing was like, I didn't like Moreau that much. Big water section is kind of dumb. But they took a bunch of ideas from previous games and kind of mashed them together in a more cohesive way than what they did with Resident Evil 6, which no one wants to talk about that. No, thank you. That'd be good. Be good to go back to even Code Veronica. I don't think I ever played those ones, but there's some characters in there that you can tap into. It's a thought. It's a good thing. Good thing to step away from them for a while. Then here's a good one. Yeah. This is the new remake coming as well. Another Disney remake. Live action remake. Can't wait. I'm so excited. Magic mirror. That's the real quote. Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all? So Here's the definition of fair. Light. Blonde. Archaic. A beautiful woman. Suing his fair. Bet it's not going to be in here. Forming with the establishment. Having very little coloring or pigmentation. Very light. Fair hair. Fair skin. Person of fair complexion. Very little coloring, or pigmentation. Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all? This is gonna be trash. Throw it out, guys. Just throw out the story. This is gonna be trash. And that brings us to somehow this wasn't burned in a dumpster fire. Somehow this show, with this guy taking his helmet off in the promotional, somehow there's a season 2. Somehow they're making a season 2 of Halo. That's unbelievable. With how bad that show is, how poor the reception was, how few people watched the damn thing. Unbelievable. And that's, you know, this side note. I talk about that in a second. They killed people off. Master Chief was like dead. What is this? What are they doing to Halo? I'm not even that big of a Halo fan. I never grew up with Xbox. What are they doing? It's so many problems. When all you need to do is just have Master Chief be a badass. Recreate some stories. I mean, look. An internet show from like, what, 2002, 2005? Somewhere in there. Called Red vs. Blue. It's out there. And hey, the first 5 seasons are pretty great. I'd recommend going to watch those. I don't recommend anything else of Rooster Teeth. I'd actually vastly avoid Rooster Teeth otherwise. But Red vs. Blue is pretty good. They made some gold with that. They took established lore of Halo. Established, well, maybe not characters, but they established their own characters. Basically memeing on the whole red team versus blue team. And it's funny. Very funny. This show is not. It's not funny. It's no action. It's terrible. Throw it out. And on our final note, VCT Valorant Championship. What does the team mean? Loud wins Valorant World Championship, defeating Optic in Istanbul. And what a game it was. They won 3-1. Which, granted, what was it? Was it closer? Was it 2-1? I think it was in, oh no, it might have been 2-0 when they first played in the losers bracket. Or the upper bracket? Ah, brain is dead. Apologies. Loud and Optic right before this essentially had to play against each other. And it was domination from Loud, if I remember right. So Optic had to struggle back to win. They tried. They certainly tried. But Loud, good on them. They did it. The first Brazilian team to win. They really are bringing the whole. I mean, look, the Western Hemisphere is just different. Western Hemisphere is crushing the rest of the world when it comes to Valorant. Something about it with the bombastic plays of, all of Loud's team to the methodical, the prep experience, all of it from Optic. Loud was just a better team. And they crushed it. And this is kind of shocking me, the money. $300,000 goes to Loud. 150 goes to Optic in second. 110 goes to DRX in third. That's incredible. Third place, even that, getting that much, that's insane. Loud taking home 300,000. That's great. This is just explaining Valorant. They really are, I agree with this, the biggest high stakes rivalry. In the past, Optic beat Loud, I think it was in 2 or 3 games in a row, and now Loud is up 2 games in a row. Well, I guess technically 3. I think there was one previous to this tournament that they won against Optic as well. I think that's what it was. And yeah, they just couldn't. They couldn't last. Optic. They were ringing through the Istanbul crowd. And the Loud chants were coming up. Only on map 3 apparently. I don't know. It was a good show. Good showing from both teams. It's awesome seeing all these people in the crowd for a LAN event. I want to go to another one. I went to Overwatch League game, probably back in 2018, somewhere in there. Hey, maybe if I try to go to the finals, that'd be a ton of fun. Also granted an even bigger sum, a slice of sales from in-game. Oh yeah. So there was a Champions event skin. Basically, it was like a gun skin and a knife skin that gave them more money. I think so. Participating teams netted $500,000 as part of a similar cosmetics promotion. That preliminary figure split between the 16 organizations bumps each team's. Interesting. So essentially, the 16 million figure, it's going to be $1 million to each organization, split evenly. That's really cool. If that's correct, I think it's going to be closer to this $500,000 number because of the take that Riot gets from the bundle. I could be wrong by that, but yeah. Meanwhile, at final news conference in the event, Loud was all smiles. Oh, FNS. Lean forward toward the microphone. Yes. Did not read backwards. Part of my problem. One reporter asked if the team's first, third, and second place finishes in international events throughout the year meant that Optic was the year's best Valorant team. FNS, the team's in-game leader, leaned forward and said, yes. After a beat, then he leaned back in his seat. Meanwhile, Loud was all smiles, asked about how they'd celebrate the win. Della Pietro. They probably see who that is. That is one word: alcohol. Very funny. Very funny. I love, man. Valorant's a good game. But on that low energy note, I apologize. We'll be back up next week. We're bringing it back up. But yeah. You get out of here. Have a good night. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.